hear us or participate. We're glad you're here. First item on the agenda is the consent agenda. Do I hear a motion?
Approve as submitted.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All right, it's approved unanimously. New business. The first item of new business is the request of Kaylin, and I'm going to ruin this Sponehoats to replace concrete and construct a retaining wall and pad at 1013 Harrison Street. And if you would come forward and tell me how to pronounce your name, and I apologize.
It's actually Callum Spunnels.
Okay, I wasn't even close, but thank you. And if you would tell us, well, we know your name and your address and the nature of your request.
Did you say the spelling of it? Is that what you said?
No, we just need to know your address and the nature of your request.
Okay, the address is 1013 Harrison Street. The nature of it is we just bought the house last year. The sidewalk that went up the side between the two houses, between 1011 and 1013, was totally, it was all broken up. It was a trip hazard. I've already gotten administrative approval to get that replaced. That same sidewalk goes around the back of the house, and so we're only talking about that back of the house for this. And it's, again, the steps are all trashed and it's all broken up. What we want to do is not so much extend out the concrete into the yard. What we want to do is, instead of that sidewalk that's there now, we want to extend a pad all the way up to the house and sloped up a little bit, so we keep water out from going down into the side of the house by the basement, and it gives the husband a chance to put his grill outside. But it'll be made out of the same material, etc.
Okay, and how about the wall? A retaining wall?
Yeah, because the house is very much on a slope, there's quite a drop off there. And so the way it is right now, if you put any concrete out there, it's gonna break as it erodes. Essentially, we wanna just put up a wall. I don't think it's maybe 2-3 feet, just to keep the slope from being any more, I don't know, slopey. It just keep it retained, yeah.
All right, okay, thank you. Are there any questions? Emmett?
Yeah, I thought it was completely administrative, so I actually didn't go by.
The walk and the stairs that already exist and are being replaced in kind were administratively approved, but the wall is new, and then the extension of the pad is new.
Okay. Do we have any photographs of you?
So this is the aerial, and then the existing.
How about is the one with the group?
Yeah, right there, that's a good picture there. It won't extend any further out into the yard than that farthest edge. We want to fill in closer to the house, so it'll actually make it a pad.
And then do you have one at the back where the wall is, Eve? Is that the one that was green? I mean, had some grass, that? Ooh,
Oh, sorry.
that.
That is.
That's the wall. That's where the
the
wall's
wall
going to go, right there.
And that's concrete as well?
It's nothing right now, but yeah, it'll be concrete, right?
It's
Mhm.
okay.
But that'll be where the red line is on this diagram.
Okay, back in the back. Okay.
I'm quite the artist, aren't I?
I'm seeing that it's replacing existing concrete steps and walk. I mean, you're replacing in kind, so I would see that it's falling within the guidelines.
So is that a motion?
Yeah, I'd move to approve as submitted.
Second.
All right, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you, you're good to go.
Thank you, I
and You'll
appreciate
hear
it.
from me. Okay, the next item on the agenda is a request from Jeff Schneider to install handrails at 307 Washington Street. And I think I'm right that Jeff set up here at one time, so
Very
welcome.
strange being on this side after 9 years being over there.
Yeah, welcome.
I'm Jeff Schneider, and 307 Washington Street. And when we bought 307 Washington Street 21 years ago, we were in our early 50s, and handrails were not in the horizon. However, now into our 70s, with our friends, et cetera, it's become a little bit more of an issue. So I approached Travis Pearl, who's done many handrails on the various historic hills, and there was a sample I provided. But ours is a little strange because we have two sets of steps. One has 3 risers, I guess technically, and the other one has 2. If I'm not mistaken, the building code says if you have 2 or more risers, you should have a handrail. The third thing about the handrails, and again, the picture I did was on PowerPoint, it's pretty simple, not to scale clearly, but the top stone, as you see on those front steps, is at 32 inches. Again, the building code suggests that you should have a handrail elevation of, for your risers, of 34 to 38. So that will, in fact, put the handrails on top of that rather than inside of it. So we want to do it, obviously, for safety. It will be iron, and of course, our house has ironwork all across the front. So to me, iron is the obvious choice. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell.
Thank you. Questions, comments? Michael?
I'm just having, it's probably my eyes or depth or something. The handrails that would go in front along the sidewalk, if you're standing on the sidewalk, would you be able to put your hand on it and
Oh yeah,
get a handle?
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's like I said, they're 32, so the handrail will be right about here.
Okay.
Okay. So, and I said
32 to the top of the red brick wall.
yeah, 32 to the top, and like I said, the code says 34, 38. So we're going to go probably right at about 34, and then the elevation on up.
Okay. Thank you.
Just the picture on the left,
Yep.
I can't see it over there. That's an existing one that's at the rear?
No, there's nothing. There are no handrails existing at all.
Okay.
Okay, what we have is just the ironwork that comes to the post you see there on the porch. It's actually on the porch, and it's a tongue and groove porch.
Okay.
Okay, and then you can see the various detail of that ironwork going across there. It's 130 years old. So,
I was seeing a little lamb's tongue on the picture on the left. Is there any way to get it on that one?
Yeah, sir, over here on the monitor, the picture on the left, I think that's what he's asking about.
The little lamb's tongue that's on the picture on the left?
oh,
At the
on
bottom?
left, that is just a sample. That's at the small size, and I just took that as a sample.
So the new ones will have that same little detail, scroll work at the end, or they?
They can. You know, that was the one I just was the closest to take a picture of.
Yeah, just a little bit of ornamental detail
Yeah.
might be, as opposed to, you know, your PowerPoint drawing is just
Yeah, right,
straight.
right. No, yeah, I mean, I think Travis has used that design and the others, so more than
Yeah.
happy to keep
Yeah,
with
that
that.
would seem to add a little historic detail correctly.
All right,
Yeah.
we'll certainly do that.
I'd move to approve as submitted with that notation.
Okay. Is there a second?
1 second.
We need more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you,
Thank you so
Jeff.
much. Have a good day.
You too.
You
Thank
too. The next item is a request of Christina, and I'm gonna have a problem here. I'm gonna say Brum, to replace the front porch floor with composite decking at 301 Cabell Street.
So the applicants are actually, they live out of town most of the time, so they won't be able to make it to the meeting, but they did ask that you go ahead and vote on the item without their
Okay.
presence.
Do you know how to say her name?
I'm not sure.
Well, since this is my item, I will say I've went by there, and I've been there before because I think this is the third time.
Yeah.
But I didn't have any problem with trucks. You can't really see the porch. You wouldn't be able to see what was on the porch from the street. So, that. But I defer to my colleagues.
Is it, are they proposing the same like width for the planks? I didn't see that.
I don't know.
Same profile and orientation.
And the guidelines do say a composite is acceptable, if I'm remembering. How does that read, that paragraph?
Here, let's go to.
I looked that up.
Synthetic materials or composite matching both dimensions and profile of a traditional tongue roof porch can be considered for porches when painted.
Yeah.
Or that, I'm assuming they're painting them then? The same color that's already there? Or?
Yeah, they said they're gonna match the gray that's already there.
So I don't know if that comes in that color or if it's painted.
Trex is usually a through color. So the material goes all the way through.
It comes in a lot of colors, I think. Yeah.
So I'd move to approve as long as noting that the color should match.
Yeah.
Is there a second?
Color and profile. I'll second, but I do have
Okay.
a question, but I don't know that it can be answered in their absence. Just looking at the pictures, it looks like perhaps more needs to be worked or replaced than the decking, but the application didn't mention anything else, if I'm reading it correctly. I can't, assume what they're doing. I'm just going off of the pictures, but it didn't reference anything.
Supposed to be some structural.
Right. If I was going to invest in the deck, I would, solidify what was under it myself, but.
So in their application, they did propose a number of other repairs, but all of those were in kind, so I went ahead and administratively approved those. The only change in material was the Trex decking, which had to go to the commission for approval. But they are fixing the structure, and they're gonna repair what they can and replace in kind what they cannot repair, so.
Great.
But yeah,
Thanks.
they couldn't leave it like the way it is now.
I was just going off of what I was reading.
Yeah.
and- Yeah, okay, so I second, I don't have any other comments.
I just have one question, sorry. Is
Okay.
it, the stairs are being replaced with that as well?
It's not in ours, but it might be in what she received.
So they don't mention the stairs specifically.
Yeah, it didn't look like they were in.
Oh, wait, replacement of the understructure and bottom surface of the deck and stairs, utilizing the same, so yes, they will be repairing the stairs, yes.
I think as long as it's all matching,
Yeah.
that's fine. Yeah, same color, so.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. We're good to go, or they are. The fourth item is a request of Seth Jordan to replace wood siding with vinyl siding at 860 Victoria Avenue. Is Mr. Jordan here? Well, then let's move on and come back. The request of Karen Ellis to install fencing at 209 East Street is the next one. Welcome back. So,
Probably see a lot of me over the years, over years.
okay, if you will explain to us what you want to do this time.
Well, I want to put up a fence in the backyard, and would be the woven wire fence, but I'd also like to put additional 3 boards on the outside just to have it be a little bit sturdier for a crazy dog. So, and then eventually, not as immediate, would be a picket fence in the front along with the retaining wall that's there now.
Okay. Questions or comments?
Does it say the height of the picket fence in here?
3 feet.
3
It does-
feet,
Oh,
I
there it
think.
is, thank you, yep.
And when you're looking at the house on the right side, I do want that fence to be in front of the chimney because the heat pump is nearby and I just want to block that from view.
So are these the exact pickets that you want to use, or is this just an example?
Yeah, pretty much that I can't foresee using something different.
What's the style of the home? Sorry. It wasn't a picture of it.
Ugly.
Do you have a general, general idea?
You know, I don't know what the style would be. It's old.
It's very old. It's just one of the old, like, as my neighbor said that they were houses that were built to house people who worked for the pipe factory. Just, you know, it looks like it started out as a 1/1.
Gotcha.
And then added on and added on.
Okay. Is it like wood siding or?
That's asbestos siding, I
Okay,
think.
gotcha. Just trying to get a general sense of the style with what it would look like with the picket fence.
Better.
Yeah. So that metal fence is up there right now.
What's that?
That metal fence is up there currently.
We've taken down the chain link.
Yeah, it's gone.
In the one game around the back, Eve, you had pictures, that's the woven wire, which, if I'm remembering, is appropriate in the guidelines, but you were saying that we were putting boards with the woven wire?
Yeah, just, you know, yeah, like 3 boards across at the bottom, middle, and top.
Top, yeah. There's one on Miller Clater that's similar.
Yeah.
We did a few months ago.
Right.
There was a picture in the examples that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so I love that. That's
Yeah.
awesome. But again, I think, I don't really know how my dog is gonna be outside. So she's
So
a
you
little.
probably have 3 boards instead of just the one at the bottom and top?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And those will, both the picket out front and these boards would be painted?
Eventually, yes.
Okay.
And whatever.
And they would need to be painted, certainly in the front, to match the fence, which has to be painted, right?
Yeah, I think the ones out front, the picket would.
The picket has to
Would
be
need to be
painted.
painted, yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
okay. Is there a time, like if I put the fence up and it's a couple months, is that a big deal?
No, you have a year.
Oh, okay.
To get it done.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd move to approve as submitted.
Any more discussion?
I just have one question.
All righty.
So the example picture, the blue fence, looks a little bit more decorative than what she's wanting to use. Is there any guidelines about how it needs to look, or just that it's acceptable?
I didn't find any except it said woven wire is acceptable.
I do
in the
love that
back.
scallop top.
Yeah, it's really
And that
pretty.
may end up happening, but that's probably gonna be time consuming.
Yeah,
'Cause
I
I
was just
think-
curious because I
Yeah.
haven't seen this before. So.
I don't know
Eve?
that I can buy it that way.
Yeah. Eve, can you comment on that? Because I looked for that myself.
Yeah.
And the post is kind of decorative too, so I'm just curious.
Says woven wire fences in front yard should not be more than 3 feet tall. But no, I don't think there's much content in terms of what the woven
Yeah.
wire should look like.
Okay. That's my only question.
Okay. Then all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, thank you.
Thank
Ms.
you.
Ellis, we'll
Till
see you
next
the next
time.
time. All right, Mr. Jordan has not come back, so shall we discuss it? It is vinyl, and it says clearly that vinyl does not meet the guidelines, and I didn't really think the house, I don't know.
Look that bad?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah, it, could use some scraping and painting, but,
I think the vinyl will totally change the look of this house.
yeah,
Hopefully, please.
yeah, yeah. So what is the wish? Or Eve, do you have any recommendation for what we should do? Postpone or?
This guy lives in town as far as we know?
Yeah, I believe so. And he didn't respond to my email to say he was coming, or that he had a conflict. So it's up to the commission if you want to postpone it, if you want to go ahead and take action.
I would propose deferring just in his absence. I think
Okay.
we probably are of like mind in which way we're gonna lean, but I'll let him present his case if he chooses.
Yeah, that's better in case he goes further, that we've been willing to hear him. All right, is there any more business?
What, would someone make a motion to table it?
Sorry.
That's okay.
I'll make a motion to table it till the next meeting.
I'll second.
All right. All those in favor say aye. Okay. All right. Is there any more business for today?
Eve noted in her email, the house, remind me of the number, Eve,
Harrison?
1031?
Which one? Are you talking about the stop work order?
Yeah.
321.
321,
Yep.
yeah. Yeah, the owners called me, I talked with them. They understand they're in violation. I mean, they've got a stop work order, so they understand they're
This
in,
is the windows?
yeah.
I'm
No,
sorry. 1021.
1021, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. They took the windows out and put vinyl in.
Right, okay, yeah, I'm with you now.
Yeah, so they got a stop work order, and they understand they're in violation. They agreed that they're gonna get a new application in before the next meeting. And we talked about what would be appropriate. They said the existing windows were gone, I think was their word, although I'm like you, Eve, I have seen some sitting in the yard.
Yeah, so we went and I was talking about a different property with the stop work order. 1021 actually has a zoning violation because they didn't appeal the denial of the windows, and so after the 15-day period, it becomes a zoning violation. And so we went out there on, what day was that? Late last week to give them the violation. And the windows were still sitting on the front lawn. So they're not gone, they just really don't want to put them back in.
And I talked to them about, historic windows being of better quality, long-term, that they would get a better service than putting in a replacement. So, I gave them the spiel. We'll see what they decide to do. I'm not sure we have the teeth to be able to make them restore. But we certainly have the teeth to disapprove vinyl. And I noted to him what was acceptable in terms of, a replacement window. So we'll see. He said, like I said, they said they would be back next month or have an application in for next month.
Yep, and he did email me a couple of hours before the meeting to ask where to find the application. So
Okay.
hopefully they are getting to work on that.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, any other business? All right, if not, I declare the meeting adjourned.